I was just wondering, what was the initial inspiration for this film?
The book, a book by Colm Tobin, which is a wonderful novel called Brooklyn as well.
And so when you were reading that, what kind of grabbed you and said, yes, this is the story I need to tell?
You know, I read it for pleasure, and it was a couple of years later that the script then came to me, and Nick Hornby had written the screenplay, and he'd written the most beautiful screenplay, which was deeply, deeply moving. And the second I read the screenplay, I knew I had to make it as a film. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, and I was also bowled over by Nick. I mean, I've loved Nick's writing, and both for he did a wonderful screenplay for an education, and his screenwriting is wonderful, but also his fiction. But his idiom has tended to be very London. So his ability to write a young Irish girl in the 50s, mind-blowing, and he did it so authentically. It's incredible. So
it's a difficult film to make. I mean, with Ireland and just Brooklyn in the 50s, how did you do that? How did you cope with it? And was it hard, I guess?
It was extremely hard because, the marketplace isn't screaming for films like this right now, to put it mildly. And it's not a cheap film. I mean, it's not a low budget. You can't make it because it's period, and it's in multiple locations. So, I had very good, tenacious producers who fought to raise the money for it, and that was a headache for them, but they did it brilliantly. And then we surrounded ourselves with a great team, a wonderful DP and a wonderful designer who were up for the challenge, who didn't see a lack of money as a limitation, but as a sort of potential way of coming up with a more creative solution, should we say. And you do need to have people like that who are up for it, or else it becomes miserable if there's not enough money to do what you're doing. So it actually didn't feel restrictive in the end. Actually, it felt like we were a very fleet of foot operation, should we say, but also, it's a story which is really told through the eyes of this young girl. So it's not about a piece of epic filmmaking. So the period elements and the world, I wanted to creep into the back of the frame, as it were, rather than foregrounding it.
Right.
So that allowed us, in a way, to be quite light with a lot of stuff,
Now, if you had a passion project where money wasn't an object and you could do anything, what would that project be?
Gosh.
Be like a story or a historical?
Yeah, I would make a film based on, there are a series of old Irish myths, and I would love to make a film based on them.
And what's it?
I'd love to make a film based on them.
Very cool. Excellent. Is there one in particular that you...
No, I'd have a way of coming at it from a sideline. I don't think I'd do it straight down the middle. I'd create a sideline character as a way in.